like when she walks into the room where they're all trying to find their roommates, and she goes, "Roomie ass bitch!" Like I had so many girlfriends like that.
I don't want a second date. Like, you're
I
weird.
did not ever tell you that.
And then I must have just done like a magic spell or something. And now here we are.
I love that you glossed over the part where you ghosted me. I kind of went back and forth recently about moving to LA. Something I would love to announce right now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Club Crave podcast. My name is Nick Williams. I am happy to be here. Thank you for joining. I'm posting this late on Sunday. It came out on Sunday though, so that's all that matters. And the past 2 days, I've been working on this little corner of my office. I have a bunch of stuff that just came in from Amazon. These pink shelves. I've got my Labubus up, Labubus, and this funny story. I thought this was really cute at 2 a.m. 2 nights ago, and then I realized now it looks like a corn cob. And then I like set my big Labubu here, and then realized, oh my god, it's kind of like he's a farmer. So we've got the corn, the farmer. We've got a little. Oh, and then the bee. Wait, where's the bee? Oh, we moved it to the bookshelf up there.
There's a bee.
Yeah, the bee
Oh,
kind of goes in with like
is it in the frame?
harvest.
I'll bring it down.
No,
No?
you can see it. I think.
Okay.
Maybe not. Oh well. You can show it to the camera.
Your little crybaby?
Yeah.
She's so sad.
She is, poor thing.
Here, go pollinate. Have her pollinate the corn. It'll make her happy.
Yes. How does she do it? Just like fly around it, and she like what? They poop it out?
Oh, like, well.
Wait, what's
shoot,
how
don't
does
quiz me on biology.
how does the pollinating work?
I hardly
Wait,
earned that
I
degree.
think it like the pollen sticks to their feet and then they like land on.
That's what it is.
I don't know. But in the bee movie,
yeah, how did it work in that one?
I feel like they would like. I feel like they like got in the pollen, right?
Sure.
And then like it was all over them, and then they
I
would
remember
fly,
that.
and it would like
I mean, honestly,
fall
it might
like dust
literally
on
just
it.
be the entire
So
bee.
they would just fly, and the dust would fall. So that she just did it like that.
I think you're right. That honestly.
Okay, guys,
you should be a professor.
welcome to Club Crave. This is what this podcast is going to be, you guys. This is just a taste.
Insanity.
Some ADHD vibes, you know. If you've got it, you've got it, and you know. Sometimes your brain just takes you on the wild rides, especially after 2 p.m., right? Like sometimes you just start talking, and then later you realize, how did I get here? Where am I?
Why did I say that?
Why did I say the thing I said? I feel like doing this podcast is going like I'm gonna black out every episode, and then I'm gonna watch it later and be like, I do not remember that at all.
I think this is therapy for you too, though. You're like,
yeah,
wait,
kind of.
Like, I'm allowed to say words. I'm allowed to have opinions and thoughts and be cringe. Like, you are allowed to be a cringy person.
Honestly, yeah. Like, okay, so this is the Club Crave podcast, you guys. Welcome to the first episode. I've been wanting to do something like this, but I feel like I've always been nervous to be cringe, like you said. Like I've always putting myself out there on the internet. I've done it a bit in terms of like fan accounts that I've made, but the podcast setting feels so much more vulnerable, and it feels so much more like uncontrolled, I guess. Like with these maybe I was doing interviews boots on the ground style with fans, and like I would edit those, and then I wouldn't use some, if they weren't good or whatever. But podcasts, like you kind of just use everything. You're right. Like I feel like with the Just Trish podcast, which I know many of you are fans of and are coming over from that fandom, they just hit record and they just talk, and like if they say something weird or they stutter, like they just keep it all in, and that's kind of what I plan to do. So Yeah, I don't really want to edit it too much. I just want to be casual and natural with it. So, and also with this podcast, I want it to be fan community driven. Like I think that's the biggest thing for me is like why do I love the fandom culture and the subcultures of the internet? I love them because of that community and like the relationships you build along the way. And yeah, I think it's just so cool to have besties in these different fandoms. And then you get to go to the show, and maybe if your favorite person goes on tour, and then go meet all of your internet besties. How cool! I've loved doing that over the years. As a Taylor Swift fan and as a Trisha Paytas fan. Um, but anyways, I'm going to give you a little tagline to introduce the podcast here. I wrote it down because I don't have it memorized yet, but I promise you, hopefully by episode 4 or 5, I'll have this thing memorized. Welcome to Club Crave, where we celebrate fan culture, pop drama, and the icons who keep the internet unhinged. I'm Nick, owner of the club, and I invite you to come in and kiki with us. How
Poetry.
do we feel? Are we need to workshop it a little bit, or do you think it was a sleigh?
I think you need to memorize it.
Okay, so you think it's a sleigh.
I think it's a sleigh, but I do think
Okay.
like fifth episode. No, like if you don't know it by next episode,
Okay, well,
girl.
we'll try. It's a long tagline, but I think it does a good job at kind of encompassing what I want this project to be. And I think over time I'll relax a little bit more. I won't be so nervous, and I will see all of y'all's comments and support, and then that will like kind of boost me to keep going and to keep confident. Which I feel confident right now. I'm excited to be here, and I um excited to like get this thing finally started. It's been a dream, it's been a thought, it's been all the things. Um it's been something that I wanted to do since like probably college. Like the thought of like coming online and like being trying to be an influencer was always something that I wanted to do. And I think we all have those phases and moments, especially our generation. We grew up with influencers and watching them on YouTube, and like their lives look so glamorous, and lavish, and the LA life was so cool. And that's something I've thought about a lot too recently, was like, do we so if you don't know, I live in Nashville. Shout out Nashville. If any of y'all live in Nashville or are nearby, let me know, because I'd love to either one, hang out, or two, have you on the podcast, which we'll talk about what kind of people we're going to have on the podcast here later. But um, in terms of Nashville, what was I saying about Nashville?
You were gonna try to give me your like little pitch for like
Oh no,
leaving
it's
Nashville.
not a pitch. So I kind of went back and forth recently about moving to LA. I always felt like you had to live in LA to be an influencer. And that's kind of why I never started my own projects. I always was like, I'm not in LA. It's not cool if you're not in LA. Um, but it's not true. I think lately I've been realizing a lot of people I follow online like aren't in LA, which I was like, whoa, that's cool. Like I feel like that's such a shift from what it was when we were growing up, when everyone was in LA and all the collaborations ever happened in LA. I mean, that still is kind of what it is today. But I mean, if anyone who wants to collab in LA, hit me up. I jump on a flight, whenever. But I don't think I need to live in LA right now. Um, and we bought a house in the fall last year, and we feel like we're in a good spot here. I feel like for the first time in a while, I've felt financially secure. Never felt like that in my life ever. So yeah, I just think there's so many good things here, and I feel like I don't know. I maybe it's too optimistic of me, but I feel like we can create something here. We can build a community of influencers here. Um, yeah, I think Nashville has its troubles because we are in the South, um, and there's creators here that they're all like the Christian TikTokers, or they're conservative in some way, or like they're just not into the girlies and the gays, the stuff that we listen to or talk about every day. So, but again, there's people here that, are fans of all of these things. So like, why can't there be influencers who are in these subgenres that we plan to talk about on this podcast? So yeah, I'm excited to like just kind of maybe start, speaking up about that in Nashville and see if we can get people creating content and maybe make this like the second LA, if you will. But there's people already in Nashville that I've connected with who are going to come on the podcast, who are influencers. The few that I found, and I actually met them through the Trisha Paytas concert um, at the Ryman Auditorium a couple weeks ago. So yeah. Anyways, all that to say is we're staying here in Nashville for a while. Um, and Justin still laughs at that because he's like, "Oh God, what does that mean? 3 years, 4 years?" No, I don't know. I mean, I feel like you can't plan that far in advance. You can,
You
but that
can't.
boring people
No.
do that.
You just scared me because I thought you were gonna be like, "We're moving to LA in like a month." Like I don't know. Like it was like very like.
You thought the episode 1 of my new podcast, I would break that to you right now, right here.
No, I meant like when you first brought up LA to me, like you were like, "I hate Nashville. I don't want to be here anymore." And I was just like,
Okay, I was going through it.
I just started like school.
When did
and,
I say I
like,
hated Nashville though? I've never hated Nashville.
You were just going through it. You've never said you hate it, but I think like the politics were doing their thing and all the,
I don't remember hating it, but yeah,
I'm
got
putting
its
words in your
issues.
mouth. No, you're
Yeah.
right. But like you were just in a moment where like I think you felt disconnected from the community.
Yeah.
You felt like if like to succeed you needed to be in LA. And like
Yeah.
I guess to clarify, because I don't want people coming for me, but also like genuinely like I would go to LA with you if it made sense for like both of us.
Yeah, no, me
But
too. Yeah,
I think in the time there was a part of me that felt like you were like running a little tiny bit.
Yeah. Well, here's my theory on it. I think I grew up watching all these YouTubers and just like being somebody that's so into like pop culture and the internet, like I always dreamt of moving to LA. So almost not moving there feels like that dream is being squashed almost. But like that's also just like how I felt as a kid. That doesn't mean I have to feel like that as an adult. Like I think like it's just part of my brain that feels like, oh yeah, one day I was gonna get there and now I'm not. But like I'm okay with that because LA is very expensive. We have built we've put roots down here in Nashville, and yeah, I think we're closer to family here, and there's a lot of benefits about you know not being in LA. LA, the traffic is crazy. It's expensive. It's um, you would have to do a lot to make sure that you are certified in a different state for your social work. So
which I've done the research. I can figure it out. I will say like if we moved to LA, I feel like you'd have to like get a job offer from like Trisha or something. Like
what do you mean, Trisha?
Like Trisha was like, "Hey, Jimmy says that like the video editing is like too much and like I love your edits. Like, can you move to LA?" I'd be like, "Yeah, like let's go." But if it was, you know what I mean, like
no, yeah, because you're very like realistic or not realistic. What's the word?
Traumatized.
Like, I don't know. I'm the kind of person that would just, if I want to go to LA, I'll go to LA and figure it out. That's how we did Nashville. I worked at a front desk at a hotel for 3 years, or what? Not 3 years. I guess it was more like.
That's a good distinction because I'm like, I just need a game plan.
But
like,
I guess now that we like are so stable, it feels like the more stable you are, the more of a game plan it feels like you need to stay stable. Because we could move to LA and then we could just be struggling again and go back to square one. But we've already gotten to kind of like square three maybe here. You know what I mean? So going back is kind of like is scary. But again, like even thinking about all that stuff though, like even if it was really easy to move to LA, I feel like it's not the right decision because excuse me, because I love Nashville and I think there's something about being like a medium fish in the size of a pond that Nashville is. You know what I mean? If you go to LA, you're a small fish in a big pond. And I was just talking about this with my new friend Beth, who I met through Trisha. So, and when she said that, I was like, damn, you're right. Like, yeah, like, I mean, there's a lot of pros to staying here, and that's a great way to look at it. There's a whole, like, you can build a lot, I feel like, here, because that community doesn't exist here yet. So anyways,
Yeah. I'm not tied here, and I'm happy to go anywhere. I think we're like on the same page now. I think it's just been
yeah.
a lot of like, you had your wanderlust, and I was like, oh, I've like finally found a community.
Well,
And so we
and
just
you've
had
been
to have
so
a lot of
supportive too,
conversations.
in
Yeah.
terms of like, me going to LA a couple different times this year, without you, and with you having school and work this year, I haven't been able to see you through the week, and then I was gone quite a few weekends, um, I mean, not just to go to LA, but for work and like work trips and stuff like that. So I appreciate you for supporting me through all of that. And oh, that light just went out. Oh well. Um, but I appreciate you for supporting me through all that, and letting me go
Always,
chase my dreams.
as
So,
you should.
and I
And
know if I really wanted to move to LA and there was a reason, and all the things, you would go. So I appreciate having a supportive husband.
of
I really
course,
do.
but now I'm changing jobs, so you're stuck with me through the week now too. Apologies.
Yay! Yeah, congratulations to my husband. He just got a new job. I guess probably shouldn't dox you and say where you got a job at, but he's in social work, and he's working on his master's degree, which you finish it in a year from now.
Yeah, my current class is making me question if that's possible, but I think I'm gonna
Okay,
pass it. I
great,
think
great
it'll
to
be
hear
okay.
that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I gotta adjust here. Um, well, let me look at my notes here for the show, because this is the first episode, so you've got to bear with us. We maybe don't have all of the segments that we're going to end up having just yet, but I just really wanted to kind of touch base with you all and let you know what to expect, and kind of just like say hey and hang out for a little bit. And yeah, so like some things may change, like these shadows. The lights won't go out probably next weekend, because I literally just, like, the past 24 hours has been me getting this all together. Literally hung this wallpaper yesterday. So yeah, we've been really busy getting it together. And I think last week I just had this spark of inspiration, and I was like, you know what, let me just freaking make the podcast. It's like I could plan it a month out or whatever, or say I'll do it in a month, but I don't trust myself, you guys. I feel like if I said that in 2 weeks, I might be like, the confidence isn't there or whatever. And so I'm trying to hold on to it. One of my favorite quotes ever is, this is cheesy, but Robin Williams, rest in peace, love him so much. You are only given one small spark of madness. You mustn't lose it. And whenever I have a spark of madness like that, yeah, if you don't, obsess over it a little bit, like, I lose it pretty quickly. I'm just one of those people that does that. So, I've held on to the spark for a few days, and I said, okay, like, this is it. Like, if I don't do it now, we're not doing it. So, um, yeah, first episode, the quality may not be stellar, but I'm so glad you're still here watching. You didn't click off yet, so it's not that bad, right? You can hear me, you can see me, all the things. um, but anyways, I would love to hear from you all. So, comment down below. What you're excited about for this podcast. If you want to be a guest, also let me know. If you're a huge fan of somebody, or you have a fan account, or you're an influencer yourself and you're watching, please let me know. Would love to schedule a time to talk with you. So, also, something I would love to announce right now, we are opening up a hotline. Okay. And it's called the Hot Girls Crashing Out Hotline. So
That's good.
the hotline is basically a phone number. It's going to be on the screen. You can call this. You need to save it to your phone, okay? Because you're using it for emergency purposes only, okay? I want you to call in whenever a hot topic drops throughout the week. So, like, something major happens and you're freaking out about it, okay? Or you have a hot take. Call in and give us that hot take. Give us your reaction to what's going on in the world in that moment. we want it to be like something that's happening like right now. So like, I don't know, like next week Taylor Swift announces that she's actually putting out Reputation. Please, Taylor, put out Reputation, Taylor's version. Um, I would love a Swiftie to call in and be like, "Oh my god, I'm so excited! Reputation was my favorite era." So yeah, Justin, to get us started, since we don't have any calls yet, what are you crashing out over?
Niche take, probably. I don't know, but I'm crashing out because I'm pretty sure Ren Weaver is dropping a single tomorrow.
Oh, your girl, yes, and she has not had music out for how long?
I believe tomorrow will be the 10 years since her first album.
Oh my
first and only
god,
album, if I
her
recall
music
correctly.
is pretty timeless. I feel like, because I hear you listen to her, and I'm like, that could be something that was released today or 2 years ago or 10 years ago. You know?
And the category makes no sense to me because like it's never like a new artist, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I could see her getting like best new artist in like 5-10 years. Like she has that talent.
How long?
What? Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe this year, like maybe this is the album, maybe this is
Like,
the
you
song
just
of the
don't
summer.
you don't believe in her in this new album. It doesn't sound like.
I did not mean that, but I just think like when people say like best new artist, it almost feels like they have to like be like a mainstream artist for like 5 years.
It's kind of like, yeah, because older singers have
like
that
Chappell
have had a
Roan had
career
been
a long
around,
time.
Noah Kahan had been around. Like I mean, it would be great if they're just like, wow, we like found this album and it's like literally, like I don't know what to like artistry of like the highest caliber, and
Yeah.
they'd still be like, but like you don't have a label, so we're not going to give you an Oscar.
Right. All right. For our next segment of the podcast, this is called the Hot Girls Crashing Out Hotline. It's a hotline where we want you to call in whenever you have something to crash out over. You don't really have a friend to tell or a bestie to tell, because they just don't get it. You know what I mean? So, and we get it here at Club Crave. We are all fangirls. Even if I don't know who the person is, like hearing you crash out about your favorite person is, I think, entertaining for all of us. And honestly, we can discover new people through it too. Um, so yeah. So basically, if your favorite person announces a new album, or your favorite influencer says something problematic and you want to defend them, or just anything that's going on currently, please call us and react and give us the tea, because I get it. Like, there's times when I see stuff on the internet, and like Justin, my husband, he doesn't know who the person is, so why would I tell him? Because it's real interesting to you. But it's not. It's definitely not. But it's interesting to us here at the podcast. And again, if I don't know who it is, like, somebody listening is going to know. And I think it'd be fun to just kind of listen in to hear what you guys have to say. So yeah, and also call into the hotline if you just want to chat too. If you just want to say hi, give a shout out, we would love to have you and feature your call on the podcast. So yeah, call the Hot Girls Crashing Out. I'm gonna get it. Hotline today. All right, guys, today's podcast, I am very excited to introduce my husband, Justin Williams. Everyone say hello.
Everyone.
Some of you may know him. He has, I guess you were in the last vlog I posted on my channel. I posted 3 different videos. I thought I was going to vlog every week, and then I kind of fell off. But yeah, you were featured in that vlog, and we went to the Cheesecake Factory. We went to the mall.
I don't know. We went to
Not Cheesecake Factory.
I almost said Fajoli's. We went to Olive Garden.
Olive Garden, a step up from Fazoli's.
We do go to Cheesecake Factory frequently. And by frequently, probably like every 2 years. But like,
yeah. Okay. Wow. This is my husband. We both have ADHD, so when he's on the podcast with me, it's just gonna be like ping pong, back and forth, a million different topics. But honestly, I think that's how the girlies are in general. So I think people will find it interesting, maybe.
Yeah.
If not, like,
I don't think they can tell. I think if we didn't tell anyone,
you're
they'd be
right.
like,
I need to stop being insecure about that.
Those are some very neurotypical people on my Spotify streaming platform, whatever you're using.
Excuse me?
What is it? What is like YouTube like? What would you call that? Like a video application?
Why are you trying to get the scientific name of YouTube?
Am I allowed to say YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god. I'm like, what are you trying to tell me right now? Anyways, yes, the ADHD, especially right now because we both had a hectic 2 days. We tried to fit in a million things yesterday. So we actually went to the No Kings protest, which maybe some of you also went in your cities because I know it happened all over the world. Um, and it was great. It was a great time. It was great to see people show out in Nashville and get excited and fired up. And it's the first time I felt hopeful in a long time. But then we were like, okay, when we get home, I am going to basically set up the entire podcast equipment and the set and record and get it out Sunday morning. And now it's Sunday evening and we're filming the podcast. I promised you all it would be out Sunday. It's out Sunday. Maybe 11 o'clock, but it's out. And I feel bad because our friend wanted to go get dinner, and now we are. At
We're still gonna
7:30.
get dinner.
We will. It's probably
We're gonna be tired.
a
We're not
late
gonna be
night
very
Cracker
fine.
Barrel or a Waffle House or what's
Yeah.
open late because our Mexican restaurant will probably close.
Technically, you just have to drop the podcast on Sunday somewhere.
Right. I didn't say.
You didn't say
certain time.
Nashville. Yeah.
I didn't say. Yeah, I didn't say.
So like we can just
Nashville
pull an
time.
all-nighter,
California time.
and then if you live on the other side of the world, you're welcome.
So, yeah, introducing my husband. I'm so glad you're here today. Thank you for being a backup guest.
Always.
You're not a backup to me. You are my husband, love my life. We just plan to have Ben Verde on the podcast because he is known in the Trish fandom. Not that you aren't. People know who you are. But I felt like Ben, I don't know, kind of would bridge that gap from my era that I'm currently in with Trisha and this new era with the podcast. But I'm so glad you're here, and I think we have a lot to talk about. And in terms of like, you're people that you are fans of, you're a fan of. I don't know if it necessarily aligns with like the audiences, but maybe we'll have to find out.
I would think so.
Actually,
yeah.
Well, I was just thinking about Ren Weaver. I'm like, you love her, and I'm like, who knows her? I guess maybe some people know her out there.
They should.
She's pretty niche.
Listen, well, I bring up Ren Weaver because if they don't know her, they should.
They should know
I
her.
am very excited.
And yeah, we love to
tomorrow.
discover new artists.
Like her music's gonna hit.
Comes out midnight tonight.
What?
Midnight tonight or tomorrow? Like.
Reddit didn't say.
Okay.
So, but I will keep everyone updated
Love
and
that.
follow me on all Instagram, Facebook. That's about it. TikTok.
Not
and
Facebook.
I'll let you guys know. I gotta keep up with the boomers. I gotta know what my grandparents are up to.
Oh my god! I was like, who uses Facebook? I guess I go on there every once in a while.
My mom's on Facebook posting pictures of the squirrel in her backyard.
True.
I gotta know
Shout
what
out
Nutty's up
Nutty.
to. We love you, Nutty.
we're gonna be like Trisha, just shouting out anything. She goes, shout out, like she'll shout out Wendy's.
As she should. I don't think
I mean,
Wendy's
not sponsored though, so she's just giving them free advertisement.
Support small businesses, local businesses, but also like the Wendy's 4 for 4 is like my kryptonite.
I mean, it's a great portion.
Exactly, like 4 nuggets. That's all I need, and then like
You get
as
a
long as they
drink.
don't forget the dipping sauce.
Yeah, I mean, you get what? You get the chicken nuggets.
You get like a little burger, and then you get
get a burger and chicken nuggets.
It's a tiny, but you get a little. It's like
tiny.
Because it's 4 for 4, so you get the burger and you get the chicken and you get the drink
Okay,
and
I
you
was
get
like,
the
what
fries.
are the 4 things? That's kind of a nice little smorgasbord of
I'm
thing.
telling you,
It's a classic. You know, when I was poor, very poor in college, I had my fair share of 4 for 4, so I get it. So yeah, my husband. Tell us about yourself. Where are you from? Also, tell us about what you do.
Yeah, so I am from a small town called Avon, Indiana, which I mean, honestly, none of you would know, but like we always joke growing up is that like we were Nick always looked down on us because like we were just very like pompous. I don't know, like we were very like, oh, we're just like our school's like so big and our marching band is like so good.
Well, you guys just very bougie.
We were a little
high school
bouge.
experience.
Yeah.
And then you go to my small town, and my graduating class was maybe 250 people. And like our high school was a square, like, and it was just like one lap of classrooms, like, and then you look at something like Avon High School, which Indiana, if you don't know, is like basketball is like huge in Indiana, so like especially high school basketball. And I know Avon's known for having the
I
biggest
don't remember us having a
stadium.
good basketball team. I mean, we had great facilities.
Right, that's what I'm saying. The biggest stadium, right? The biggest like basketball stadium was Avon High School.
I have a hard time believing that's true.
Oh, okay, well, I don't know where I heard that.
I want to think you're thinking of Ben Davis. I don't really know. Just name dropping schools, getting into our high
Who cares?
school. Yeah, but so I grew up.
It was a bougie
Orioles.
school.
It really was. No, and like you were talking, like your school is like small, and it was like just a square. Like I had to like run to my next class, or I would be late, and like we had like 7-minute passing periods, and it wasn't enough. Like it was like crazy.
Mine were 3 minutes.
Oh, I would have died.
And then I think like eventually somebody came and moved it to 4 minutes because somebody finally went and told the principal, like, hey, like I can't make it to class.
They would have never changed it.
What
they couldn't give us any more time. Yeah.
That person had to like walk with the principal and time exactly how long it took them to get to their class, and then it showed that he was late to finally make it go 4 minutes. But before that, they were getting like tardies all the time. But anyways,
sometimes that's what it takes. Sometimes you gotta take the people in charge and make them walk with you.
Literally, like, yeah. So
that's crazy. Insanity. But yeah, sorry. So I'm from Avon, Indiana. It's right next to Indianapolis. And then I think, we've talked about our love story before, so I don't have to get into it. I like went to college where he grew up, and then like he posted really cute pictures on Tinder, and I was like, okay, like let's date. And then I fell in love immediately, and he was like, I don't want a second date. Like you're weird.
I did not ever tell you that.
And then I must have just done like a magic spell or something, and now here we are.
I love that you glossed over the part where you ghosted me, but I think you just said, if I was hearing correctly, you said second date I didn't want it with you, right? That is not true. I was a little hesitant because you gave off hardcore Christian college kid energy, and it was just a little bit triggering for me, and I was not anywhere in that area, and I was very different. We were very different at the time, which I don't think was a bad thing. I just think I was a little scared for especially being my first, like dating experience, really. And also you had ghosted me before, so it was a little weird there too. So yeah, I was like, I don't know about this guy. But then you proved me otherwise.
I don't know when I proved it, because like the thing is, like, what did they say? Like, never date someone thinking you can change them. Like, do you feel like you did that a little bit? Because like you got lucky, like you did.
No, I didn't change you.
I
always
changed myself, but
you came into yourself. You were always this person, I think, deep down.
I agree.
I just think that you grew up again in a more sheltered community. And also going to a Christian college like Indiana Wesleyan University, where, there's cults and there's people telling you you're going to hell for being gay. And, the doors are wide open in every room because they want to have their girlfriend over. Like, it's a weird environment to grow up in. And everybody's worried they're going to hell constantly. I'm like, God, that must have been awful.
It's exhausting.
And exhausting to worry about that all the time. I'm like, y'all, while I was literally getting blacked out at college parties and in like these frat parties, y'all were like in bed, like shaking because you think you're going to hell because you kissed a boy or something like that.
Is this like an okay pivot to like overcompensating maybe?
I mean, yeah, we can get into it, but I really wanted to get into you first and just like, I wanted everyone to kind of get to know you a little bit. But we definitely need to get into overcompensating.
No, absolutely. I think, I mean, just to like keep it brief, I think like I met you and like obviously we've lived a great life together. I think like as someone with ADHD, like I don't know if there's a lot to me. I'm an onion, right? You got to peel all the layers back. But like
the Shrek reference.
Is that Shrek? I thought it was The Bachelor.
No, they say that in Shrek. He's like, I'm like an onion, so many layers. Or wait, what is it?
I think that's right.
Wait, there's something with Shrek and onions and layers.
Okay, well, it was also on The Bachelor.
Okay.
But I would say like my outer layer, which is supposed to be like for the normal person, is like them masking themselves and like just kind of adapting to a world. Like my exterior layer is very like I have religious trauma and I'm going to tell you about it. So like I think we've covered like the most important topic.
So we hit it. Good. We hit it.
I mean, if y'all are interested, I'll write a book one day, I think, about the things I've seen.
Your dream also, or something that you've always thought about doing, was making a podcast or writing a book about your experiences. And I would love for you to do that one day. I think that would impact a lot of people. And so yeah, if any of you guys are on that religious trauma journey and you're unlearning, and you are realizing you can just kind of be yourself and don't worry about what the church thinks or what God really thinks, because they tell us God loves everyone, and I think that's true. And I think, if there is a God, why would he make you go to hell for just loving someone? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's crazy that there's people out there, especially here in Tennessee, that disagree with that. And it's 2025, almost 2026 already. Did you realize we're almost halfway? No, we're over halfway through 2025.
Well, yeah, and that was the only other thing I was going to add about myself is like the podcast for me. I mean, I'll be on your podcast whenever you want. You just hit me up if you try to have someone on and they're like, "Oh no, I'm sick." Then like,
well, Ben
fine, I'll be. You can put me on again. No, I know, like, literally love Ben, but I do not have time right now, right? Because I'm just like burnt out and like working basically
to do your own thing.
Like from morning to night, because I have my internship and then I have work and I have school.
So yeah, Justin's
and all the things.
He's going to school for social work. He's working on his master's, and he's very busy all the time because he's also has a full-time job at a hospital here in Nashville. So,
but we're doing the thing.
But you're killing it. You are doing great, and somehow you're upright. So that's all that matters. And your grades are great.
And I still somehow find time for pop culture, which is also,
You're welcome.
I really want to talk about overcompensating. So
let's talk about overcompensating. Okay, so yeah, this something that I think if you haven't watched Overcompensating yet, you need to get on it. It's a great show. I think if you're in I feel like anywhere from mid-20s to like mid-30s would like relate hardcore to the college experience in Overcompensating. You related to a lot in it, except like the party scene and stuff like that. Like you didn't experience that going to Indiana Wesleyan, just because that it's not a party school. But somewhere like where I went to Ball State University, very much that was my experience growing up, and like going to college and saying like I'm gay, like that was like my awakening was in college. Like I think I'd kind of known, and then it's like you kind of push it away, and it's just like you overcompensate by trying to be a manly man, or like fit in with all the guys, or join a frat. Or I didn't ever try to join a frat, thank God, but I know a lot of gays did, because they want to prove to themselves that they're more of a man or whatever. So,
but that was like kind of the thing, is like you had the party experience because you went to a normal college, like a normal person, and then I went to a Christian college, but like I still experienced the hazing. I was basically in a fraternity, even though we didn't have them on campus. So like the parts that like you didn't relate to as much were like the parts that like I was like, no, they did this very accurately as well. I just felt like it was so clever. It was brilliant. All of the references to like, I mean, I will always say that like I was born in 98. Like I am Gen Z, and like people can say I'm in denial, but like I'm too addicted to my phone to say otherwise. But like
I like to say, stay young forever. So, we're the cuspers, but I'm going to go
Gen
Z.
Alpha, actually.
Oh my God, you can't skip years.
But like that said, like I identify as Gen Z, but also like my upbringing, like I saw my dad's floppy disk. I know who Britney Spears is. Right. Everyone should know that. But like the millennial humor was still
was so
really good.
Humor, yeah.
I think I told you this, and again, I have to be careful because I know your whole fan base is like stands Trisha, but like I did not understand the Black Parade song. Like every time she did it, I was like, this just was never my vibe. And then they'd stay on Overcompensating. And I think we went to the Trisha concert in Nashville after watching it.
Yeah.
And so when Trisha did that number, like I was like almost in tears. Like it just was,
Welcome to the Black Parade. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm obsessed now.
Yeah. Okay. So you, yeah. Well, I guess let's not get into Trisha's tour just yet. We'll get to that. Overcompensating. Yeah. I just want to like say this Benito Skinner guy, Benny Drama.
Yeah, who's this Benny guy?
I cannot believe I did not know who this was before, because now I'm like discovered who he is. I've totally like gone through all of his old videos and just watched like everything, and there's still so much content out there. He put out so much. He's like a comedian. I think he did stand up for a while. I know he did stuff with Comedy Central, and then like COVID, he did a lot of skits online. And like there's videos for like every astrological sign. Like if you're dating a Virgo, this is what Virgos are like. And he did the whole cosplay thing, very Trisha coded, if you will. So yeah, they're all very entertaining. And also like he's gorgeous, which is crazy because I feel like gorgeous people sometimes are just not. You just can't find gorgeous people funny. Sometimes is that bad? Someone's like Matt Rife, like I don't know. He was never funny for a lot of different reasons, but like I feel like gorgeous people just like you just can't. I don't know. They just don't have
I can't come up with the counterpoint.
They don't have that personality.
I will say, like, when we start, like, the first couple episodes of Overcompensating, like, we just kind of, like, went right into it. Like, we didn't do any research. Right. So we were watching this, and I think we were both kind of like, why did they, like, cast the straight guy to play the gay guy?
Oh, yeah.
Like, and then we realized, like, that's just how good of an actor he is. Because, like, then we look him up, and, like, he's the funniest person, like, on the planet.
Gay, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just, like... Yeah, I don't know anything other than that. Is I think like I wouldn't necessarily say like, oh, like he's like conventionally attractive, he must like not be funny, but also like I didn't expect him to be like as relatable maybe that like he is.
That's true. Yeah, I feel like people like that are usually assholes. I'm just gonna say it. Like people that look are that pretty. But yeah. Anyways, Benny Drama, you're iconic. Loved Overcompensating. And can't wait to see like what this all takes him, like because now he's, it's I'm sure doing really well, and it's relating with an entire generation and all the girlies and the gays out there. If you haven't watched it, I don't know why you haven't watched it yet, because it's gone viral, right? Like, do you think most people have seen it or no?
I think if I like can go back in time, I think like Charlie XCX, her song came like. Had like its resurgence, right, of like Party for You, which I was like, okay, that's like cool, I love a TikTok sound. And then like I didn't realize it until like a couple weeks later that was because of Overcompensating, right? So I think it's almost having like just I don't want to say exponential, but like the growth I think is still happening. I think there's a lot of people that don't know about it yet, but I think like it's still on the rise. I think like people are I think by the end of the year people will be like, wow, this was like the best show of
it just was so good year. The ending was kind of crazy though. Like, I feel like
no spoilers.
Well,
but yeah,
I don't want to spoil it, but it's just kind of like,
whoa. Everyone wants season 2 now.
And it's a cliffhanger, I guess. So it's a good cliffhanger.
Yeah,
but it's like, oh, really? That's the way it ended. But
am I allowed to cuss on your podcast?
Yes, I mean I'll bleep it. Probably.
It pisses me off.
Okay, yes. Yeah. So Haley, we got to get into Haley. What's the actor's name that plays Haley?
Holmes.
They are an incredible actor as well. Total transformation from their like,
because she was another one where like I just went into the show thinking like, oh my gosh, all these people are just playing themselves. Yeah. And then you look them up and you're like, oh my god,
Holmes is so different than Haley.
Brilliant actor, incredible comedian.
And
love
I have
her.
to say with the Haley character, there were so many girls in college that I knew like Haley.
It was very accurate.
The drunk party girls, like when she walks into the room where they're all trying to find their roommates, and she goes, "Roomie ass bitch!" Like, I had so many girlfriends like that, and they were so open about their sexual life. Like, I mean, great, whatever, but like, they'll tell you every little detail about what happened. So, Yeah, I just that was such a great character, and I feel like represented so many different people. But yeah, the show overall, like, it's just so impactful, and did such a great job at like describing what college is like as a millennial or as a Gen Z, and specifically growing up and like coming out and being gay during that. But it's also, I think, what's really cool with Overcompensating is that it's supposed to be relatable for everyone, right? Because everyone's overcompensating in some way.
No, absolutely. I think, controversial. I think even like towards like the middle, they're like trying to kind of make you feel bad for the straight guy too. And you're like, okay, like I guess like everyone has their own issues and like we should have empathy.
Yeah.
But like, you know what I mean? So it is, I mean, I think that's what's really good about the show though, is like it is for the gays, but
Yeah.
like it's also like it is something that like has a message for everyone. And I just like we watched that like on our 1 year anniversary in Gatlinburg, and
Yeah.
I think it's also one of the reasons it's going to go down as one of the best trips that we've taken. So
Honestly, when you are on a trip somewhere and like a new piece of media comes out that you can fully consume and fully like feel in a
no
new
dogs
location.
barking in the background.
Yeah, no dogs or like anything like that. Behind you, if you want to grab it, is the Solar Power album cover. Solar Power came out
Yeah.
when we were I feel like I'm like Jimmy Fallon, and Lord is performing her new album or her new song, Solar Power. Anyways, this album came out when we were on our trip to a resort called Miraval.
That's the whole story in itself.
And
Yeah.
that was like a trip that I won on the Kelly Clarkson show. Shout out Kelly Clarkson. Thank you for that trip. Our benefactor. Solar Power came out, and whenever I hear this album now, I think of just how in love we were. I mean, we're obviously still in love, but you know, just like that young relationship, like honeymooning kind of love. But yeah, anyways, that album means a lot to us. And her new album is called Virgin, coming out at the end of the month. I am such a big Lord fan. I'm so excited. If I were to call into the Hot Girls Crashing Out hotline, I would call and crash out about Lord. Lord is my girl. I met her way back during the Melodrama days. And Melodrama, I was like hardcore into that album when it first came out. It really didn't do that well at first. Like, you go to the tour, the balconies were like empty. It was crazy. And Lord is this like, and I feel like in the gays and the girls, we in our mind, she's like this. She's right up there with Taylor and stuff like that, but she's like really a lot more niche than that.
The people are not prepared. I think that we have been talking about. I mean, for me, current song of the summer, I would still say like, what's the one Sabrina just dropped?
Man Eater? No.
Because I was about to say Man Eater too, actually. That's crazy.
Man Killer? Man Hater? Man...
Definitely not.
No.
But it's Man something.
Man...
Man
Child.
That is correct. So I think people are sleeping on Man Child a little bit, which, I mean, maybe I'm being dramatic. I get that it's not espresso, but like it's good. It hits.
I think it's when a singer puts out like what's supposed to be the next song of the summer, because sometimes artists can keep that going for a while. And Sabrina, unfortunately, like this song is not song of the summer material.
Okay, I get you. I think it has the potential to be. I think people just said like we want someone else. I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
I think the song could have been the song of the summer.
I mean, maybe on another timeline, yeah.
Maybe, yeah. We can don't get me started on timelines because I'll go off. Like just how like it's a thing. That's like my conspiracy theory.
What's a thing?
That there's like alternate timelines.
Are we getting? What do you mean by alternate timelines? What is
like,
that?
I don't know how like the physics works because I hated physics, but like I think like right now like above me or like because like it would be like a fourth or fifth dimensional thing. So like in a direction we can't comprehend is like where like we're on this podcast right now talking about how like Kamala is our president. Like, yeah,
I think
like I saw something about
it's a little
it,
bit
like,
of delusion.
Like Doctor Strange said something about timelines and it made sense. So like that's just kind of
Everyone, if you start thinking that there's another timeline that you should be living on, I think
That's
it's
not what I'm
time
saying.
to take a step back because listen, right wing pipeline.
No, it's not right wing pipeline because listen, no, I am glad. I'm actually glad that I'm on this timeline,
Okay.
but it gives me a
If
sense.
I thought there were other timelines, I would not be happy to be on this timeline.
No, but hear me out. It gives me. This isn't gonna make the podcast. I already know.
You never know.
If I can convince myself that there's another version of me living in bliss that encourages me, that like makes me feel like I was meant to be here creating bliss for others while still getting bliss somewhere else.
All I can think of is that chocolate called Bliss. And where did it go?
Was that a thing? Was that just like a flavor? Was that like a diva? Or is like bliss like
Diva.
its own thing?
Godiva?
It's Godiva?
Oh my god. Wait, okay. There's never been a Diva chocolate, but there was a Bliss chocolate, right?
You're like scratching something in my brain. Like I think you're right, but I don't
Wait
know.
a second, you got. I remember growing up and it was like Bliss. The chocolate.
I'm
tastes
pretty
like
sure it
bliss.
was like, I think it's Godiva.
That could be a Mandela effect, but also right wing pipeline. We're not trying to get down that.
The right wing pipeline is not as crazy as you think it is.
I think it's okay. Listen, if you're into conspiracies, I think that's right wing pipeline. It's just be careful. I just say tread easy.
You think that it's wrong for people to think that the Fruit of the Loom used to have a cornucopia.
I'm just telling you that if you get too much into that, that's going to lead to thinking that Earth is flat, and then that's going to get you to think, yeah, Karen Colby thinks that, and that's right wing pipeline.
She doesn't.
Literally, it will get your brain getting stuck on conspiracies. Watch that bookshelf, honey.
Sorry.
And I'm just telling you, before you know it, you're going to be watching Fox News and you're going to be voting Trump. Third term.
Oh my god. Sorry. So I got on the whole timeline thing and then you had to get on your little like what's it called? Like when you get on like a hot topic.
I'm crashing out, honey.
It's
our show. We crash out here.
But I do have
we don't
to
rant.
give.
There's no soapboxes. We crash out.
Oh, there we go. So soapbox is what. Yeah, I was going for
That's
soapbox.
not what we're doing.
But I think Sabrina Carpenter. It won't be the song of the summer,
Sabrina,
but she had the opportunity to be, and that's what I was trying to say. Is in another timeline, it is the song of the summer. Was how we got all that started.
I guess.
But I also think I'm seeing a lot of like "I Love You" by Marina. So I think that could, if the gays do their job, could become the song of the summer.
Okay. How does that one go? Sing it a little bit.
And I'm like holding out hope for like.
How does "I Love You" go?
I love you, and I know you want me to.
Okay.
It's and then it has like the little like Madonna Vogue part.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It is good. I just feel like song of the summer. Where are you?
Wow. That's crazy.
Marina, I mean, it could have been, but I still don't feel like that album. I mean, it's good, but it's not giving Song of the Summer. They all kind of sound.
But you know
the same.
what I mean? The only reason it's not giving Song of the Summer is because people don't appreciate good music. Like Marina gave a 10 out of 10 album, and everyone's just sleeping. Like that's the problem.
But do you know what makes Song of the Summer?
Joy, happiness.
No, it's a mixture of different things. Joy and happiness, definitely, sure, one of them. Good marketing. Where's the marketing? Brad Summer, that's a masterclass in summer bops. I just feel like nobody's wanting that song of the summer. Like if you want song of the summer, you need to want it, and you need to put out the content. You need to market it. You need to make sure it's relevant to people. I don't know. I feel like Man Eater. What is it called again?
Oh my god. Well, and that was my last point. Was like I think the song of the summer should be "I Love You" by Marina, and I think that Lord is going to give us what we are looking for.
I hope so.
But that does require. So if you're defining song of the summer as something that defines the summer and isn't necessarily like a party anthem, then Lord can deliver that, because I think she's going to give us something very sad and meaningful, but also like melancholy and like I don't know how to say it. What's the word for like when you're sad but it's like beautiful? It's like sadad or like sadade.
Okay, I don't know that. I think
but that's what she's gonna give us.
Sad, Beautiful, Tragic by Taylor Swift is a great song that could definitely describe that feeling.
That's crazy because usually I know all the Taylor songs. I know
You don't know Sad, Beautiful, Tragic?
I've listened to it. I don't know how it goes right now in my head.
That's okay. We don't want to get copyright stricken, so I won't sing it for you because that'll
Okay.
just sound too much like Taylor.
Right, that's why.
Okay, well, we need to pivot to our next topic really quickly.
Oh, yes, okay.
Because we need to wrap things up here.
You're not going to deliver people a 2-hour podcast?
No, I think we're going to stick it around an hour.
Okay.
If we go over, that's okay too. But like an hour, I think is good for this.
Sure, fair.
I don't want to commit to too much.
Fair.
Our next topic we need to get into is Trisha Paytas, Heirs of Trish show coming to an end. Congratulations, Trisha. We congrats on ending the tour and congrats on an amazing tour and seeing so many cities and so many people. I think she said over 100,000 people showed up to the Heirs of Trish tour. So
How many? Sorry,
over 100,000.
100,000.
So like our big stadium out
people.
here in Nashville, the Nissan Stadium, it fits 60,000. So that just shows you how many people went to the Heirs of Trish show. Almost double that. So yeah, congrats Trisha on this huge accomplishment. We're so excited for the baby, baby boy, and he's coming next month.
Are we officially like past Gemini and we're into Cancer? Like,
I don't know the dates.
what's today's date? We're not quite. Sorry, no, we've got a few days left. So hopefully that
Well, the
baby
baby's coming in July.
decides to just kind of stay for another week or two because it needs to be a water sign.
Well, that would make so much sense.
And sorry, I shouldn't like use it, but he.
Calling the baby it.
My bad, guys.
Yeah, and I feel like it's okay. You use pronouns for babies, right? Until they tell you otherwise. They don't want to.
That's true. I don't want to assume, but I should at least use they. I should at least humanize the baby.
I love how we're just assuming that Trisha's baby boy is gonna be like a non-binary icon.
I don't think we're making assumptions. I think everyone.
The default. Yeah.
I don't understand. Maybe this is me being problematic, but shouldn't everyone use they pronouns?
I think no. I don't think it's problematic. I just think it's not the norm right now. But it easily could end up that way. Yeah.
Like the only reason I don't put like he, they in my bio is because like I feel like I don't know why I don't. But like
I thought about doing that
yeah.
too. Because it's like I don't care really.
Exactly.
And also like I think there's a stigma around the pronoun thing, which I don't know if we'll ever get past Republicans or like right being.
We have to
weird
imagine a
with
future where we
pronouns.
can timelines. It was just
not the timeline, not the right wing pipeline. I just feel like the pronoun thing is just like such a non-issue, and these people make it to be such a big deal. Like, God forbid somebody just wants to be they. Just
it's insanity, honestly.
and
That
they're like making it this issue in their mind that it is not an issue. You have two options when somebody says, please use they them as my pronouns, right? You have your first option is to be so confused. How is this even possible? Why would I ever call them they? That's so grammatically incorrect. Or back in my day we never talked like this. Or two, okay, and then you just call them by they them. That's literally it. How many names do you remember of all the people that you're in your life, right? You remember their names. Why can't you remember he, she, or they, right?
Well, even if like you make a mistake, like most of the time, like everyone's gonna be like they'll correct you and they'll be like, "Oh, my bad." Why do you have to be like, you know what I mean? Like it's just
because it's not the norm. I mean, people are just so scared of different and so scared of like, and it's just crazy because we live in a city and we push ourselves to go out in the world and like see people and like.
I'm so proud of us.
Be around different kinds of people. I'm not trying to gas us up. I'm just saying like. That's just how people should be. Like all these people living in small towns, they just don't see anything different. So then they're just scared of everything different, I guess. I don't understand how you can immediately go to this person's different than me. They identify a little bit differently than me. So it must be scary. They're going to.
And that's the thing too. Like, I mean, I guess I can kind of get it in the sense that like I used to be, for lack of a better word, like a little bit of a masochist. I just don't know what other word to say, but where it's like I enjoyed feeling terrible and miserable and sad. So like I get how that feeling's addictive, but like you're literally like making yourself so stressed and raising your blood pressure. You're probably going to die sooner because like you're not healthy. You're raising your cortisol levels.
I think Fox News is elder abuse for many reasons.
Yeah, but
because
it's just
one, brainwashing, and then two, it's making everybody mad over nothing.
like,
killing people?
Do I
sooner,
want
literally
like bad, miserable people to like have a good life? Not necessarily, but like it's in their control to do so.
I think everyone. Well, yeah, I can't say that. I was gonna say I think everyone should have. I was gonna say I think everyone should have a good life too, but like there are some really bad, awful things that people are supporting right now. So it's like, why should they get a comfortable life when they can treat other people and make other people have terrible lives?
Go off,
Delta.
Nikki.
If you aren't watching the Delta Work podcast, shout out Delta Work.
Are you proud of me though? That's my first Drag Race reference this entire podcast.
That's true. Justin
I've been holding it in.
Is very much into drag. Okay, let's do one more topic. We'll do Drag Race.
Sure.
All Stars. But we were on Trisha Heirs of Trish tour.
Yeah.
So the Heirs of Trish tour is over. I went to 5 shows altogether. Shout out me. And then I went to Trishmas and I went to the Broadway show. And the past year I've seen Trish 7 times. And I did a meet and greet twice. So, I just, it was an incredible journey. And, I talked about it on my TikTok, but I just am so thankful for everyone who followed Oscar Crave's journey on that and had a lot of fun just consuming the content that I put out and the different edits that I make. And I'm not going anywhere. I'm still going to run Oscar Crave. But when Trish ended her tour, I was just kind of like, dang, what am I going to do next? And I told her that. And the reason why I'm so motivated and confident is because she literally said to me, she was like, Nick, people really enjoy your content. Like people really like what you're doing. So like, I think you should just keep posting. And I was like, okay, the queen of the internet tells you to keep posting and to keep making content. You can't say no to the
She's
queen.
also the blueprint. You know what I mean?
And
like when has Trisha
also,
ever
Midwestern girlies? We're twins in that way.
That you're what? Midwest? Because she's from Illinois?
Yeah.
Chicago specifically?
Outside of Chicago, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I kind of feel like...
But a small town outside of Chicago.
I don't know if I've ever met anyone from Illinois that's not from Chicago. Not to get back into conspiracy theories, but is it just...
No, there are people out from other parts
of
Illinois.
Okay. Yeah.
I know people from other areas, but yeah, I know what you mean.
But... Yeah, sorry, Eras Tour, Trisha.
What were we talking about?
She has. I was just gonna say, like, Trisha has never been like, oh, it might not be popular. Oh, it might not be the right thing to post or whatever, and like it's never stopped her. So like, I do think that there's like an important theme there of like, I think we live in a world too where it's like, I think you touched on this, where like we've been taught that all we're supposed to do is consume. Yeah. And that like something like making a podcast or creating content or being an influencer, like it's something that's like elitist. And I would say, I don't think it's even about the views and anything. I think it's just like for me right now, like this is filling me up talking with you and I'm having a great time. And I think like if you're watching this and you're like, oh, but like it won't go anywhere or whatever, like number one, you don't know, like it could, but number two, like if it will bring you joy and it's something that's like meaningful to you, like make it. And I think that that's like how we act. Like people, I'm seeing a lot of people, sorry, I know this isn't a political podcast.
I know, we just keep going back to politics.
But I mean, we're gay, it happens. Yeah. And I think I've seen a lot of content online where it's like, okay, cool, like you're going to the No Kings protest, but like nothing's gonna happen. And like I think that's kind of like sometimes how I can get when it comes to like speaking out online or like creating content, but like just being yourself and being authentic, I think is revolutionary in itself. Us being authentically gay on here and me laughing like a psychopath, I think in a small way does make the world a better place. So like even if you're and the camera cut again. But I just, I don't really care if you like don't think that you have people that would watch. I think that you'd be surprised. I love your setup. I think it's really cute, but I don't think you even need a setup. I think just like get a little mic on, even if you have like an iPhone 4, just get it out and record and share what you have with the world. I think it's important. I think everyone should be doing more content.
All right. Well, this is the end of the episode. Justin, thank you for coming and joining me today, making the short commute to the office here. At
You
our
have a
house.
lovely home, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put this set together very quickly, hung this wallpaper yesterday. I hope you guys like it. I might try to, change it up or improve it here and there a little bit. Yeah, maybe my little boo-boos will change out as I get new ones.
I thought you were
But
cutting
yeah.
yourself off.
Listen, no, I do have a big energy coming. So,
Okay.
Speaking of Labubu's, we have an exciting guest coming up.
I'm excited,
So-
personally. Yeah.
And I don't know if it's going to be next week's episode. He's going to come on, but I will give you a hint about the person. I'm not going to tell you his name just yet.
Are they like really big on TikTok too?
Yeah, he's starting to blow up.
Oh, I
yeah.
love.
If there's a Labubu influencer, it's him. So,
Wow.
the hint I have, I guess, is that he has a doctorate in Labubu economics.
Oh my God.
And we actually connected online, and he knows Trisha and Oscar and is a fan of the podcast. So we connected online over that. And then, then I DM'd him and I was just
I'm
like,
so
hey, thank you
excited.
for your support for Oscar Crave, because he was supportive over there, and asked him to come on my podcast. And he hadn't even seen an episode yet, and he agreed to it. So excited to have him on. And then another guest that I have coming on, I guess a hint I can give is she's the queen of McBling. So look out for future episodes. We've got exciting guests already.
You got it stacked, honestly.
It's a great time to hop on if you're interested in being on the podcast. If there's any influencers out there that want to come on and talk about, what I want to do with these influencers is really get into their subgenre of the internet, their corner. Talk about what kind of people live on that corner of the internet. Talk about just like the content they make, and get to know them, and talk about their futures, and what it's like being a girly, or gay, or straight. We accept the straights here too.
That's right. We love the straights.
This was a fun time. Thank you for joining. And I hope you get excited about the next episodes. Please leave a comment. Call that hotline, y'all. If you're crashing out this week about anything, please think of us. We want to hear and play that on the next episode. Please give us at least a few, because we don't want to show up next episode and not have any calls to go through. But let me just make sure we've covered everything here. Oh yeah, we've got to shout ourselves out on the socials. Follow Club Crave on TikTok, at Club Crave. On Instagram, I'm Club Crave Media. And then Justin, where can people find you?
Yeah, I'm not making content as frequently. If you like to see lots of political posts on people's stories, you can follow me on Instagram. That's just Noah Williams, my full name. And as we said, I'm also on Facebook. I think I make some pretty great playlists on Spotify.
Okay.
I don't really know what my at is on there, but if you like music, maybe I'll figure that out. Other than that, just follow me on Instagram. That's about all there is.
And you've got, we've talked about you might do a podcast one day, so
Maybe.
we'll keep everyone in the loop if he gets that started.
If you have religious trauma and like you want to be on a podcast, but Nick's is like a little bit too fun, and you would rather talk about like serious traumatic things and
I think they can listen to both, honey.
Let me know, as they should, absolutely.
Okay.
But that's my niche, is talking about religion and why it's bad. So
okay, great. He's already ready to pop off about it now. Well, we're closing out the show, honey. I'm sorry, but we'll do a whole episode on that if you want. But it's got to intertwine with the internet somehow. So
I could figure it out. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And if you don't mind, give us a review on Spotify and Apple Music, or wherever you're listening to. Give us a review. It does help push it out to more people, and it really does support us over here. We are a mom and shop podcast, actually pop and pop shop style podcast. We DIY right now, but we want to get some more equipment. We want to get some more decor. We want it to make it a little bit more cutesy in here. Maybe upgrade some of the equipment. But this is us right now. So again, thank you for watching, and thank you for being a part of this. And I think as time goes on, I won't be so rigid and nervous. I think I just need to relax. And,
You came
and have
into
more
yourself
time
towards
in
the
front of
end.
the
You were
camera.
very nervous at the beginning, and now I'm like seeing you shine. So
yeah, I feel like
yeah,
I definitely am relaxing a little bit more now.
absolutely.
But now that we're here at the end, like you said. But anyways, thanks for watching. I love you all, and we need an outro.
Like sing.
Welcome to the club.
Thank you for coming.
What do people say like if you leave the club? Like, bye, diva.
Bye, diva. Have a great day. You're so awesome.
You're a slay. And a
Slay
half.
the house down boots.
Okay, let's just stick with bye, divas.
Oh,
Bye,
like at the same
divas.
time. Bye,
Okay, wait.
divas.
That was terrible. 3, 2, 1.
Bye, divas.